So in this video I'm going to continue working on this beautiful Honda Twin Star that I picked up on Craigslist. If you missed the last video, I wasn't able to get the bike started because it was probably a little too cold. I think it was down in the teens. Luckily today it's about 45-50 degrees, so there's a good chance I'll get the bike running. So one other thing that I noticed in the previous video was that I had a connection problem with the tube type fuse connector here on the bike. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that with a more modern blade type fuse holder. So that should eliminate any sort of issues I have with power. So it looks like the fuse is also connected with a banana connector down here. So I think I can do is just crack this loose. The wiring on this fuse holder is surprisingly large gauge compared to what's on the bike. Probably seems like overkill, but I'm working with what I have and it's still going to do the job. Okay. And just for a little added insurance, just going to put a little tape on here, considering this is a pretty important connection on the bike. So originally this bike had a 20 amp tube type fuse, and now that we are going with a blade fuse holder, I'm replacing with a 20 amp blade type fuse. You'll notice that I've chosen to go with a yellow fuse. As we all know, yellow parts make motorcycles go faster, and this bike's going to need all the help it can get. So we're going to go with this yellow 20 amp fuse for an added 20 yellow horsepowers. Alright, with the fuse fixed and some fuel in the tank, let's see if we can get this thing to run. Alright, run. We got power. Hold the choke. Not looking good. Alright, so before I kill the battery, I had one last idea, and that's to hit the air filter with a little starting fluid. So I'm going to try that. I'm also going to kick it over old school, because I'm wondering if the starter turning over is causing a weak spark. So, starting fluid, kick start, see what happens. Okay. Power up, run. Actually, I don't think we're going to need to choke it. Runs like a Honda. Okay, so I was in the middle of checking out the mixture on the carb and I smelled a little bit of fuel. Look underneath the bike and the carburetors are leaking fuel. So quickly turned off the fuel petcock, and now I'm waiting for this all to drip out. I need to figure out where it's coming from. I think it's passing through the carb somewhere. So the good news is the bike runs, and unfortunately the bad news is the carbs are leaking gas through the drain. So I need to look into that, see what's going on there. I suspect because this bike hasn't been started in many years, the carb excuse me, there's just one. The carb is in need of a rebuild. Seems like a pretty straightforward process. So I'm going to look into that, see what I can do about getting a carb rebuilt or just simply replaced with a new one. More to come. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.